Is First Coast News on your side.
Broken glass everywhere, but thankfully no injuries after a man drove a stolen piece of construction equipment right into the front doors of the Baptist Health Maternity Ward in downtown Jacksonville tonight. Thanks for joining us on First Coast News at 11. I'm Jeff Ballin. The Jacksonville Sheriff's Office is keeping its investigation quiet tonight. But on your sides, Kaylee Tracy was there as that equipment was being moved away, and she joins us live. Kaylee, what are police saying about this incident?
Well, Jeff, as you just said, JSO is being pretty tight-lipped tonight about any details about the suspect in the incident overall. I'm going to have you take a look behind me, though. You can see the entrance to the maternity ward there is boarded up. We were here earlier tonight when workers were putting that wood up to block, as you said, shattered glass, because that excavator that drove through, we're told from the hospital, if my photographer DJ wants to turn this way with me a little bit over here, it's from the construction site. We're told that man stole it right across the street from the hospital here. Again, JSO not saying much. An officer on scene, I asked him for more information about the incident, including what happened to that suspect, but was told by the officer here that his supervisor told him there was no further information to release right now. I'm gonna have you take a look at some video. When we got here around 7 p.m., the excavator was parked on the sidewalk near the parking garage. We're told the incident happened a little before 6 tonight. An officer with JSO then helped move it back to the construction site, again, right across the street from the hospital, as employees cleaned up that broken glass. Again, thankfully, no one was hurt tonight. We are still working to find out what happened to that suspect. As we told you, Baptist Health referred us to JSO for more information about that suspect. We did reach out to JSO's spokesperson for more information overall about the incident. We have not yet heard back. I also reached out to the construction company here who owns that property and have not heard back from them either, but we will continue to keep you updated on air and online as we learn more information. For now, reporting live, Kaylee Tracy, First Coast News on your side.
Now,